Welcome to the Stack Supplement Podcast, the premier source for supplement news and reviews.
We are back with another episode of the Stack Supplement Podcast, where we go over all of the top stories and exciting announcements shared on the site from the past 7 days. I do apologize as last week I did actually miss the episode. I was meant to be moving house, but that just went awry. Things play out, but I am back. And we have a lot of announcements for you. I think last week was probably one of the most exciting weeks I had really seen in the supplement industry for a couple of months, to be honest. Not so much that we haven't seen big announcements, but it was probably the most jam-packed week, I would say. We just had a whole bunch of exciting developments and news shared. Before we kick the rundown on the news, before we kick that off, I gotta just bring up the Expo. The Expo is going down in exactly 1 week from today. In fact, I think it will be 1 week from when this podcast goes live. It's turned out to be, you always plan to have these things bigger and better than last time, and it is well and truly bigger and better than any of the expos we run before. We've got a lot of brands, a long list of brands exhibiting, and they're all bringing their A game. A lot of them have got deals, giveaways, announcements, unveilings. Some brands have some products that I have seen a picture of, and they got some exciting stuff lined up. That's what I can say. We're actually going to be doing a lot of things during that week. Not only will you be able to go to the expo just by visiting Stack.pro and just checking out everything that everyone has to offer. Like I mentioned, sales, giveaways, announcements, introductions, distribution contacts if you're on the industry side of things. But we're going to be running a voting poll or a bunch of polls, really, pretty much like we do at the expos that haven't gone down this year, where we would do best booth, people's choice and stuff like that. We're going to be doing those things for the people exhibiting at the Stacked Pro Supplement Expo. So we'll have best booth, and obviously, we're talking about the pages and booths that people have put together for the expo. So everyone is going to get to judge on that, and there are going to be no nominees as such. We're going to be pretty much putting everybody who's at the event on the list, so you'll get to vote for anyone. We also be doing most exciting announcement kind of thing, so anything new at the show you'll be able to vote on. So everything's going to be able to be voted on. There'll be a nice little process in place. There'll be one vote per person. So yeah, it should be pretty damn fun. I'm excited to do it. As I mentioned, there's a lot in store, and everyone that's asked, how do we support? Look, we don't charge a door fee. This is online. This is just go visit the site. Spend as much time as you can checking out everything that's gone into it, everything that everyone's put has on offer and has on their page, and just share it with your friends. That's all we ask. Really, it's the same thing with Stacked. When people message, "How do I support?" You guys do a great job. Just share it. Share the site, share the expo. That's well and truly all I can ask. It's going to be an awesome event. Everything is kind of lined up, and like I said, you're in for a treat when it comes to new products. They got some complete unveilings, some full-blown announcements. It's going to be pretty damn cool. I'm excited. I hope everyone's excited. We'll be dropping teasers and whatnot as we move on, but yes, again, week from now, Stack.pro, share with your friends, share with family, share with anyone you know, and that's all we can ask. But now we'll get into the news, and as mentioned, it was a pretty jam-packed week. A couple big announcements spread throughout the week, but the first of which I'm going to start. As you may have noticed, I generally try and do the European UK stories first, and that is what we're going to do here. We have two stories out of the Europe last week that I thought were very interesting. The first comes from NanoSups. Now, you may not know NanoSups as NanoSups. Originally, we just referred to them as it's like the letter A with two dots above it. I'm sure there's reference to it, but that was the name they were known by, just that letter. And originally they started out with a BCA product that was made with a wooden scoop, not a plastic scoop, not a traditional scoop. It was a wooden one, and that was really all they knew them for. And I'm pretty sure that was the only product that brand had for a very long time. I'm not sure how long they had, but it was a long time. And then they came out with protein pancake, which I thought was extremely strange because again, it was a BCAA brand that then went into functional. Nothing in between, no protein, no nothing, just a protein pancake. And even initially, I thought it was going to be a pancake powder, mostly because that's traditionally what people do when we're talking protein pancakes. And that's also what you do pretty much in Europe. A lot of companies do, protein baking mixes. But no, NanoSupta came out with an actual pancake, freshly baked, soft, delicious pancake with a gooey center. And that brand has become known for that product since it launched. It's become very popular. You can find it all over Europe, a lot of stores in the UK. They've even expanded and they did the protein, I'm pretty sure it's the protein cake. It's like a smaller version. It's got a little picture of them. I think it's a frog on the front. It might actually be their logo. I can't remember, but I remember that the frog-looking thing on the top. But yeah, it's a it's an interesting brand. But this past week, they announced their entry into the beverage market. A market we've seen a lot of sports nutrition brands jump into. A lot of those being European, a little more frequent over there. But yeah, they announced their new product called Amino Vibe. It's a very different branding to any of the other products. But true to the typical functional beverages we see out in Europe, it is an energy and amino beverage. Very similar to Nocco, very similar to, it's going to escape me all the other ones that are like this. Of course, I come a blank. But there are a lot of products in Europe that take that stance where they just combine aminos with, Clean Drink, I think is another one. Either way, there are quite a few, and it's a lot more traditional to get an energy drink that's got aminos in it in Europe, whereas in the US and a lot of other markets, it is mostly all about energy. You don't really see the BCAAs thrown in, while they do have them. But yeah, that's exactly what NanoSupta has done with its first ever drink, Amino Vibe. I believe it has 3 grams of EAAs, so all 9 EAAs. Alongside theanine, and then for the energy side of it, you get 105 milligrams of caffeine. So that's very reasonable, 105. I'm pretty sure that's what Nocco's has in theirs as well, to be honest. I could be wrong on that, but it's a moderate amount, enough to get a nice energy boost. And I believe it is 0 sugar, carbohydrates, and fat with only 4 calories per can, so nutritionally friendly as well. Launching in 2 flavors, strawberry watermelon, which they call pinkberry, and then a tropical mango. And so yeah, that's out now in Europe. I believe there are a couple stores who are already stocking it. I'll be intrigued to see how it tastes, but if they're protein pancakes or anything to go by, I don't imagine this one being any kind of disappointment. But yeah, so the next one, the next story we have is from, as I mentioned, from Europe. And this is from one of my favorite functional companies on the market. By far, just not necessarily because of how creative they get, which they do get damn creative, but just because of their damn variety and how fast and how busy they are. And that is Skinny Food Co., who I've mentioned several times on this podcast. Because yeah, they launch new products so damn frequently. It's crazy. But yeah, so this past week, instead of launching a new product, well, they did launch a new product, kind of, and they did actually launch a new flavor. That was new flavors for their skinny sauce. They introduced an all new brand. Now, I haven't followed them that long to know if this is the first time they've done this, but they've introduced a new brand called Fakeaway. And yes, the name does sound like takeaway, but that is kind of the point on this one. Fakeaway is really a takeaway-inspired alternative functional brand. So their first product is a protein pizza base, or a healthy pizza base. It comes high in protein, low carbs, basically a healthy alternative to a traditional pizza base. And that's the play, I guess. At least that appears to be the play, is that it's a twist on typical fast food, takeaway type things, and they're putting a spin on each of them, hence the name Fakeaway, which again I thought was quite interesting, quite cool. They started out with a protein pizza base. Got the macros right here. So each 200 gram pizza base has 26 grams of protein, and just 36 grams of carbohydrates, with well under a gram of that sugar for 308 calories all up. So obviously that's not including toppings that you throw on top, but it is much more nutritionally friendly for high protein eaters compared to your typical pizza base. Now, while the Skinny Food Co. Fake Away has only just launched with the pizza bases, it does have plans to expand, of course, and knowing the Skinny Food, and as mentioned, these guys are pretty damn quick and very busy when it comes to products and development. It's not too surprising that they already have others coming down the line, one of which they've confirmed, and that is going to be Fake Away sauces. Obviously, this is something that the Skinny Food Co. already offers under its own line with Skinny Sauce. Not only you have the Skinny syrups as well, but the goal with these ones appears to be the takeaway angle. So they're going to be launching the Skinny Sauce, the Fake Away sauce in 5 flavors with burger, Chinese curry, Indian curry, pizza, and kebab. So again, nice play on traditional takeaway type foods. We don't know the exact macros and calories, but of course, being from the Skinny Food Co., you can bet that they are extremely low. I think their Skinny sauces are typically 0 to low, so I don't imagine it being any different for this one. Their pizza bases are actually available now. You can pick them up from the Skinny Food website. They're at £4.99, which works out to be about $6.50 US. So they are relatively expensive. Pizza bases, usually you can buy quite a few, and this is just £4.99 for one. So yeah, you can buy. Obviously it's a deal on a good alternative, and you can buy them through the site. With the sauces due to be released at a later date. But again, knowing how fast the Skinny Food Co. moves, I wouldn't be surprised if these become available much, much sooner rather than later. Now we move to the announcements we got from the US market, and again, it was a pretty exciting week, or at least I felt it was a pretty exciting week. We started out with, I'll start the list off with Bowmar Nutrition. Again, much like the Skinny Food Co., just a very busy brand, a very fast-moving, consistently expanding brand. So they announced a new variant of the Bowmar butter. Now, if you're a follower of Stacked, you may have had this from a lot of people. Feels like Bowmar launches a new Bowmar butter almost every week or two, and they are very frequent with the Bowmar butters, I will admit that. But this Bowmar butter is not a new flavor, nor is it a new, I guess, like their vegan version. This is not a flavor. So just to give you a rundown on what Bowmar butter is, it's basically a nut butter infused with whey to give it a higher amount of protein. So healthy, well, not a healthy, but just a higher protein peanut butter. They do have other versions though, so you can get it with like a peanut base, an almond base. I'm pretty sure hazelnuts in there as well. Again, as mentioned, they have a vegan version, but that's still same kind of base, but you have it's not whey that's infused with to give it that high protein, although it still does have that high amount of protein. But what Bowmar has launched this week is a nut-free version, and the interesting twist on this one, which I thought was really cool, they didn't just call it a nut-free butter or nut-free spread. They've called it a nut-free icing or frosting. It's a confetti cake flavored high-protein icing. And the catch is, despite it not having that nut butter base, you're still getting the same solid macros you get in the brand's the actual nut-based Bowmar butters, with 10 grams of protein per 2 tablespoon serving. The brand itself says it apparently tastes like the delicious and nostalgic Dunkaroos frosting. So and they have a lot of followers. They're popular. Their products are very popular. So I would be inclined to believe that statement. Don't know if I'll get the chance to try it myself, but it does sound damn delicious. But you can pick that up now, and I believe it's for the same price. So they cost the same price as the other flavors, the nut-based flavors, at $9.99 a jar. So yeah, you can check that out on this site. I don't know if it's available just yet. It might be still coming soon. But yeah, we posted the story. They said it'll be available later in that week. Well, sorry, there you go. That actually sold out, so they're going to be restocking tomorrow. That's not too surprising with the angle and the awesome style they went about that one. But yeah, it was available on their site. Will be coming back this coming Tuesday, so tomorrow when this podcast goes live. The last three stories we have for this episode is they're all pretty big. As mentioned, it was a big week. It was a fun week, and we're going to start that with Layne Norton. Now, Layne Norton, very, very, very popular fitness supplement, nutrition personality, powerlifter, natural bodybuilder. He's been around for a while. Years ago, he had his own line of supplements with bodybuilding.com called Carbon. I'm trying to remember the exact date. It was launched in 2015. I can't remember the month, but basically it debuted in 2015. There were two products. There was a recovery and a pre-workout, and then they were later joined by a protein powder. So we had three. I think the protein powder wasn't too long before they launched that after Carbon itself debuted. But about 2 years later, the line was discontinued. Layne Norton himself said it was just due to sales performance. They were primarily or mostly due to sales performance. And since then, we hadn't really heard much. Now, this week, word got out that Layne Norton is indeed getting back into the supplement game with an all-new brand called Outworked Nutrition. Now, much like with Carbon, he is kicking his brand off with two products, a pre-workout and a recovery supplement. So, same categories as he did before. And we don't actually know everything, or not. We actually don't know a whole lot about either of these products right now, outside of the fact that they're a pre-workout and a recovery supplement. There are a few ingredients highlights that have been revealed as Layne Norton previewed the tubs themselves, and you can see the ingredients on there. And so for the pre-workout, you're in for 6 grams of citrulline, 3.2 of beta-alanine, and 300 milligrams of caffeine. So a very typical balance, energy, pumps, performance. And then for the recovery supplement, surprisingly, the highlights that were on the outside of this weren't EAAs or BCAAs like you would get with most recovery supplements. The Outwork Recovery product is going to have 5 grams of creatine, so full 5 grams, 2.5 of betaine, and then 2 grams of glutamine. So yeah, we don't know a whole lot about the brand, obviously, or we don't know the entire story about the products. Obviously, we have those highlights that I just mentioned, but we don't know the full formulas. But it will be interesting, I guess. It's one of the first, notable personality brands I've seen launch in some time. There's probably one that just not coming to mind right now, and I'm just drawing a blank. But anyway, so yeah, it was pretty exciting to see him come back. I think it'll be interesting to see how he goes, because again, he had a line that he felt didn't do that well, and was discontinued. So as much as you might think, it might not do that well, it might do really well, who knows? I'm more inclined to believe it's going to do quite well, only because, he did the thing, and he ended it. So he has the experience, not just because he did it, but because he knew it ended. So I have to imagine that he knows what to do better. That's plain and simple. So, I'm excited to see how this goes. I'm excited to see how he markets and expands and grows. Surely he won't be sitting with just 2 supplements. Again, Carbon launched with 2 and then expanded to 3. In this day and age, though, I would think you do have to launch much more frequently, much faster, to keep up with all the new brands coming on board and the speed of all the bigger brands. But yeah, that one, I'll be interested to see how this unfolds and goes. But yeah, you can check it on the site. We've got a preview of the products. Again, no details, just little highlights. But I assume more information will be coming soon, as the brand itself is due to launch sometime in August, which is obviously this month. So has to be with the next 1 to 4 weeks. But yeah, check that out on the site. The next story we have, there are two big ones as mentioned, and I'm going to start with the bodybuilding.com one. Now, if you missed this story, it's going to seem as pretty damn awesome and shocking, but bodybuilding.com has come out with a new brand called Remix Nutrition. Now, the brand has one product at the moment, which is just a blend style protein powder, fairly typical, but it is not the formula that makes this thing so exciting and such a big announcement. Remix Nutrition has actually debuted its protein powder in collaboration flavors, and only collaboration flavors. There's no chocolate or vanilla or cookies. They've teamed up with Hostess brands or Hostess snacks, known for a mountain amount of sweet treats, ding dong, snowballs, donuts. They're known for a lot. So they have come out with 2 flavors of their protein powder in authentic Hostess snacks flavors. There is chocolate cupcakes and Twinkies. So these two, I mean, I wouldn't say broke the internet, but they certainly got the attention of all of the Stack followers when the word got out. It's always exciting, I guess, to see when these companies do these things. Similar to Go, similar to BSN went to Cold Stone, Diamondized with the Pebbles. It's just cool to see, when the reactions that these collaborations get, because they're just they're not so different, but it's just fun, I guess, because everybody likes their own thing. And I mean, this definitely drew a crowd. Twinkies obviously isn't a food that we've seen used in the supplement space, but it was awesome to see. And they're not stopping there, as far as I know, and from what I was talking to them. Remix Nutrition does plan on doing more flavors with Hostess, and is in talks with other brands or companies, corporations, to do other collaborations outside of Hostess. So by the looks of things, this is going to be like just an all-out collab brand, which I think is really cool to see. You've seen brands that do collabs, mix them with other flavors, or regular traditional flavors that then get joined by collab products, obviously. But you've never seen a brand that's just all about collabs, and I'm excited to see, I guess, just how well they go, how far they expand, how deep they go, and what other categories they hit. Obviously, Twinkies may not be the exact flavor you'd want to replicate in a pre-workout, so I'm interested to see where this brand goes and how they expand, both into the other flavors and categories. It'll be fun to see, because knowing that they specifically stick to collaboration, you're gonna be excited every time they announce a new category or the intention of entering another category. I mean, let alone when they enter, or if or when they enter the protein bar market. We've only actually seen only 2 brands come to mind that have entered the protein snack, protein bar market, that have then done collab flavors. Those 2 would be BSN, obviously, with Cold Stone, and My Protein recently did it for one of its. It teamed up with, I can't remember the name, Iconic UK Candy Factory, and then they did a special edition flavor of their protein bar. I mean, you do obviously have the Mars and Snickers, but those are directly from the Mars Candy Company. So yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. I think it's a really cool idea. Not a concept brand we've seen yet, and I'm always excited to see something new and different. And the last story we have, and of course, as always, I save the best to last, is Inspired. Inspired has finally revealed, after they announced that they had brought on board Landon Suggs, the original founder of Intel Nutra and the creator of the reputable pre-workout Aries. They confirmed when he was brought on, Inspired confirmed when he was brought on board, that they were already in works with new supplements. And with a guy like Landon, who created Aries, and then you have the creative minds behind Inspired, it's going to be when those 2 clash, when those 2 come together, something good's going to come out of it. And so they've finally revealed one of the products, the first product really, that those 2 have created together, Landon and Inspired, and it is a new version, or a new extension of the Devastate family, called Devastate of the Union. A nice play on the phrase State of the Union. And it is going to be what sounds like an incredibly powerful and incredibly intense stimulant pre-workout. They haven't really revealed the formula, nor have they. I mean, I've been doing teasers and previews and hypes and dig-ins on pictures for years, and I've noticed that over the years, people started taking out the weights and the servings amount on tubs when they previewed products, because it does kind of give a lot away. If they put a 240 gram weight, 30 servings, that's going to be an 8 gram serving size, so you're not going to get a hefty dose of citrulline. And I've always dug into it. It was very obvious to me, but over the years, people have removed the weights, and that's one thing Inspired has removed. While it has fully teased and previewed the pre-workout, it has not given any indication as to what's going to be in this. But knowing Inspired, obviously, they have been the makers of several top-rated pre-workouts: Devastate Crimson, Devastate White Cut, the legendary Devastate White Cut, White Diamond. I mean, they've done countless powerful pre-workouts, and you know that if they're putting so much hype behind this, so much excitement, you can bet your ass they're going to be punching this one out, and it's going to be intense as hell. So, again, while this is a big story that they've revealed and previewed the product, which you can see for yourself on the site, just go to Stack, type in Inspired, type in Devastate, you'll get a look at it. It's an awesome looking tub. It's very similar to BBD, which was the Devastate Inspired put together for Australia, where it's just got like a wolf on the front. It doesn't really give any indication it's from Inspired outside of the tiny logo at the bottom. They've taken that same approach on this one. They've got this kind of stylized Guy Fawkes cryptic mask on the front, various rainbow, colorful, vibrant combinations, and that's the dominant graphic on the tub. So it's known to, again, very similar style where you don't really know it's Devastate, but it's pretty damn interesting, pretty damn cool. And the formula is going to be revealed, if I'm not mistaken, at the Expo next week. I could be wrong on that. Either way, if it's not revealed this week, the Inspired does have a page and a booth at the Expo, and I'm pretty sure they're unveiling something there. So I would have to take a guess and say it's this. Either way, within the next 2 weeks, you're going to find out what's in this bad boy. So stay tuned, and we'll definitely keep you in the loop. But I'm hyped to see it. I mentioned this in my podcast with the Final Scoop, the guys that we do with the podcast I do with supplement engineer Lukash, Robic, and of course TJ from Fitness Deal News, which you can check out. We do an episode each week. You can check that out on the Supplement Engineers website. But it's I'm just hyped for it. Even though I've been doing news stories on Stacks for 10 years, I still get excited when I hear these things. These when there's just excitement still there, and Inspired and Devastate it's just one of those names, one of those products that you've been treated to incredible formulas and powerful experiences over the years. You can't help but get excited for this one. So again, stay tuned. We'll have details on that when we do. And once again, for the Expo, visit, check it out, spread it around, do what you can, and we'll look forward to having you back and tuning in next week.